All right, welcome back to day 3 of our yoga to help us de-stress for our heart. My name's Nikki. For those who don't know me, we're going to actually start standing for this practice. You don't need any props. If you don't have a mat, even if you just have carpeted floor, that is fine. So we're just going to start, and we're going to bring our feet nice and wide into that nice goddess style. So my toes are pointing out, heels are in. I'm just going to sink the hips down. You can come to that nice cactus pose. And you'll notice I'm not super deep here, but we're just gonna get warmed up. You know, so if your butt's sticking out, we're tucking it in. We want to sit straight down in that goddess. And just check out your knees and see where your toes are. If your toes are on the outside of your knees, you need to open those legs up a little more. Feel this inner thigh stretch. So we're doing some hips and twists. Get us going today. And I'm just gonna start doing what I call a little swaying side to side, or we'll call it dancing your goddess. And I'm kind of like trying to sink lower and lower into that pose. That's it. Then just hold it here, relax the shoulders, push those hips forward. Just one more breath. Good. And you got the option to bring your right arm to your leg or straighten it out. Bring the left arm up. I'm just going to reach down, reaching my hand to my ankle. You can also flip your palm for support, or like I said, have your elbow on your leg. I'm going to reach all the way down to my foot. You want to notice if you're collapsing down and your chest starts facing the ground, you got to come up a little bit. We're still, a lot of us are going to want to lean forward, but stay in that goddess pose. I'm using my arm to push my leg back behind me, still working on that inner thigh stretch. I'm breathing nice and deep, looking up to those left fingertips. This is probably this and our tail of the dog are our most active poses, so just enjoy. One more big breath here. When you're ready, come back up to goddess. Bring those cactus arms. If you've lost, you start to lunge forward. Bring yourself back to center. We're going to go to the left side. So left arm can come down or straight down as you reach the right arm up. And make sure we're sinking the hips down. It's just a lateral bend in the torso. Left arm is pushing that left leg. Help open up that inner thigh. You've had a workout already today where your legs are a little sore. You might start feeling this. Just get a little straight up and sink down back into it. It's not meant to be too hard on your quads. That's it. 2 more big breaths here. And last one. We're going to come up to goddess. Just one more breath. Straighten the arms. Come up to that 5-point start. Release the arms. And I'm going to walk my feet in. We're going to be about 2 feet apart, or what I would consider mat width apart. I like to bring my heels in for my Malasana, but you don't have to. I'm just going to turn this side so you can see me here. The goal is keep the heels on the ground. Doesn't matter how deep you go. So let's inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sink the hips down. You can bring your hands to prayer if you like. If you're up here, you're up here. Don't judge yourself. This is a lot of hip flexion. You may notice also that you're rounding up your chest. Really try to open up the chest. Use those arms. I'm pressing into my legs here. Opening up, just getting a nice little, all right, stretch. Just take some deep breaths. And if you need to come out there, lift those hips just a little bit, then sink back down to it. You need to make sure your feet, both of them are firmly planted on the ground, and we're trying to lift up and open with the heart. Relax those shoulders. 2 more breaths. And last breath. Perfect. I'm going to bring the hands to the ground, and then I'm going to come to my knees. And if you've got a yoga mat, you can face properly on your yoga mat now. Here, we're just going to curl the toes under, and as you exhale, lift the hips into your downward dog. Just because I love doing it, we're going to pedal out our feet here in this downward dog. Just lifting one heel up and then the other. Today's pose is downward dog. So just pull those heels down, find some length. If you find your hamstrings are really tight, you have to round your back. You're bending the knees. It's okay. You want to focus on trying to be in a good position here as we keep those quads engaged. So we lift the tailbone to the sky. Find the head hang. Nice. All right, here's the other challenging pose today. Some people really find this difficult work. Just understand what I'm saying. So let's really go through this slow. As you take your inhale, lift your right heel up. And then I'm going to turn my hips so my right toes are facing the right. I'm going to bend my right knee and lift my knee to the sky, just letting that foot fall, aiming towards the left glute. you should be able to look easily underneath your right armpit. Feeling a stretch along your side body, especially near that hip flexor area. A lot of people tend to keep their knee down, but lift that knee to the sky. Point it up, point it up. 2 more breaths here. Fingers are spread. They're gripping the mat to hold you in place. And when you're ready, we're going to bring that knee down, and I'm going to drop my hips to plank so I can pull my right knee towards my right wrist. I'm going to drop my back knee as I slide my right foot close to my left hand and drop that knee for the pigeon. So just some key setup here. A lot of people let that left leg come out. Make sure it's right behind you. And you've got lots of options here. You can stay up here if your hips are really tight. You can come down. You can stack your forearms. We're going to stay in this position a little longer than most poses. I find it's a nice hip release. And it's a good relaxing pose where you can really focus on breathing, being still if you'd like, or you can add a little rocking here. If you find this is not as deep of a stretch as you like, you can pull that left or that foot closer to your left arm. There's lots of variations here. A lot of people tend to keep that foot near their hip. It makes it easier to get lower. So just focus on what you can do today. Feeling this in that right hip. And just taking those big deep breaths, really slow it down. A lot of times when we've got a lot going on, we're thinking about gotta squeeze this, move this, hinge here. We forget about that breath, but really just focus on breathing here, letting it come nice and relaxed. You can let your head hang here, maybe support it with your hands, trying not to shrug in those shoulders. That's it. Enjoy. Relax and melt here. Along with that malasana, both of these should really, really open up your hips. Last breath here. And then we get to go back into downward dog. So if you're on your arms or wherever, walk back up to your hands, curl your back toe up. Maybe you need to inch it in so you can step the right foot back to that downward dog. Pull those heels down. Lift the hips. Pressing the chest to the legs with nice strong arms. I'm going to do the other side now. So let's start as we inhale the left leg up. We're going to that tail of dog. So I'm going to turn my hips so my toes are facing the left. I'm going to bend my knee and really lift that knee to the sky as I try and kick my right glute with my left heel. And I can look a little bit underneath my armpit if you'd like. This can get into those obliques really well. Nice little side body stretch here. Taking those deep breaths. This is a hard pose, so sometimes we want to our breath, but slow it down. Let that be your focus, and it will make the exercise, the stretch, more manageable. Last breath. I'm going to start coming back to a plank, coming on those right toes. Pull that left knee to the left wrist. I'm going to slide that foot towards my right hand as I kind of just walk my knee back, drop that back right knee. Start sitting up nice and tall in your pigeon. Find your hips sinking down and then walk it down into whatever variation. If you're still up, that's okay. And again, you can do a few rocks here side to side if you like, just massaging out that hip. This feels really good. And again, we're going to hold this pose for a little bit longer. So get comfortable. A little discomfort is okay, but we never want to be in pain in our poses. That's when we know we've gone too far. We're going to practice a little non-judgment here because you're probably mostly on your non-dominant side for the group. We don't judge whether one side's better than the other. We just focus on the stretching and the melting and accepting that our body is doing what it wants to do today. And we honor it by falling with what it wishes. So try to relax the upper body, which is nice to have your hands stacked, or if you can use your arms to support you. Finding some stillness if you're still rocking. Just enjoying these nice deep breaths. That's it. 2 more big breaths here. And last one. And we're gonna come on up onto our hands wherever you are. We're gonna curl those back toes under, maybe walk that knee in so we can lift ourselves back up for our last downward dog. Focusing on keeping those quads engaged. This helps release the hamstrings. So we press our palms and fingertips into the mat, pressing our upper body a little closer to those legs. 2 more breaths here. And last one. I'm going to drop to my knees. Just take a quick little child. I'm going to bring my knees together, feet together as I send my hips back for this nice narrow-legged Balasana, forehead to the ground. And then I'm going to bring my arms by the sides of my legs, palms facing up. I'm just going to let the shoulders roll down, let gravity take them. I enjoy this nice little stretch here. Balasana is great for the back, but this variation really helps with that upper back, just separating the shoulders right where our rhomboids are. So just breathe and send some extra energy, whether it's the top, mid, or lower back, whatever you feel needs it today. One more big breath here. I'm going to come back up. I'm just going to side sit. It doesn't matter which way. You can sit whatever's facing the camera. It works for you. So let's all cross our legs. We're going to just, for the ease's sake, you want to have your right leg in front. That's my left leg. Let's do our right leg in front. Okay, we're just going to skip the log cabin part I usually do. We're going into cow face pose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross my right knee on top, and I'm trying to stack my knees so my feet come opposite directions. You can actually take your feet and pull them apart a little bit. We're going to do 2 variations here. So I'm going to start by putting my hands on the arch part, the inner side of my foot, and then I'm going to press them down, put a little weight in it as I hinge forward with a nice tall posture here. This is going to help open up those hips just a little bit more with the pressing of the feet and the hinge. Now, if this is too intense, you can either sit upright or release the feet. If your knees can't quite stack, you don't have your feet on the ground, you can focus on just doing one, or focus on the pulling action of the legs. Hopefully they're a little loose from our other stretches. All right, last breath, just like this. And then we're going to sit up, release our hands, keep the legs, our right leg's on top, which means the right arm comes up, and then that left arm's coming up to join it. I'm just going to turn so you can see behind me. This is one option. If you can bring the other arm, the left arm, down and back and come into that bind, feel free to do so. This is really intense on that lower arm. So like I said, only if you can grab and you choose to. I can grab, but it's really hard on my shoulders. So I'm going to choose just to do a normal tricep stretch here. I'm going to push my head into that arm as I sit up nice and tall. That's it. Keep breathing. One more big breath here. I'm going to release my arms and I'm going to uncross my legs. Just cross your legs the other way just for a second. So your left leg should be in front. Then I'm going to pull my right leg underneath and my right leg underneath the left leg on top. So my knees are stacked in the middle of me. Again, wherever you are, that's fine. You can focus on even, you can take your thighs and try and pull them apart or use your feet. But if you're with me, we're going to put our hands on our arches and just lean a little forward here, putting a little extra pressure. I'm pushing the tops of my feet close to the mat. This is helping externally rotate those hips, getting a little bit deeper in this stretch. That's it. Really enjoy this. Pressing down. Nice tall posture, hinging right at the hips. Last breath like this. When you're ready, inhale, come back up. We're all going to take a tricep stretch. So left arm, because our left leg's on top, right hand comes up and pushes down. Remember, you can stay here or you can take that right arm down and behind and grab your fingers. If you can't stay up here with me, right? If you can do this, but you're getting a lot of pain, especially in that shoulder, don't do it, right? We're here to relax mentally and physically. So if you're taking things into a painful range, all it's going to do is create some stress hormones in our body, and then we're not relaxing at all. So just enjoy. Stay up nice and tall. Just one more breath. Push that arm down a little deeper. Then I'm going to release my arms. I'm going to uncross my legs. I'm just going to turn this way so you can see me. I'm always going to tuck my chin so I'm not rounding out. I'm going to grab my thighs. And I'm going to roll onto my back and just give myself a few massages. So we're rocking down. I'm never rolling on my back or my spine. Sorry. Just seeing how this feels. Good. And then come completely onto your back. Let the head relax. We're going to do a twist and then full happy baby. So I'm going to bring my legs up, knees above hips, arms out to a nice T position. Give me a nice big inhale here. As I exhale, let the legs fall all the way over to the right side. Keep the knees in line with the hips. And if you can, keep that shoulder on the ground. If this is too hard of a stretch for you, you can lift the knees up and just have the feet on the ground. You also have the option to look to the left and bring the right arm over to the left. So we're trying to fully twist our upper body away from the lower body. Again, this is a relaxing and gentle stretch, so just breathe here. Let yourself melt. Then relax. I'm going to do this side, left side, happy baby, and you guys are golden. So enjoy these last few minutes of some stillness, some gentle moving. And always remember, we're exhaling and melting and releasing, but not judging. We're just letting our bodies move into a position where we feel a good stretch. 2 more breaths. And last one. I'm going to start by bringing both arms back to a T. Gaze comes to the sky as I keep the core tight. And inhale, bring the legs up. Exhale them over to the left, keeping the knees in line with the hips. And I'm looking over to the right side this time, right shoulder on the mat. You have the option to bring the left arm over. I'm just really grabbing my deltoid, my shoulder, my bicep area. I'm not getting a full twist, just adding a little bit extra, forcing my torso to twist a little bit away from the lower body, just helping to deepen that stretch. That's it. Keep breathing. If you find it difficult to breathe, again, of course, open up, come out of the twist a little bit, same as if you were in pain. You should always be able to breathe fully and fluidly. That's it. You've got it. 2 more big, deep, slow breaths. Really slow it down. Take it gentle. Take it slow. And last one. I'm going to bring my arms back to T, gaze to center, core as tight as you inhale. Bring the legs back up. I'm going to pull the knees out to the side and towards the armpits. And this is where you can grab grab your respective foot, soles of the feet. If you can't grab the feet, please just hook your elbows under the legs. The key with this happy baby is the soles face the sky. And to make us real happy, we can rock whether we've got our legs hooked or our feet massaging out that back. This should feel nice big hip opener. We've done a few hip openers, so this shouldn't be too hard if you're generally flexible or decently. I would consider myself decently flexible. But if you're not, don't worry. The more you stretch, the better you'll get at it, and stick with it. Flexibility can take a long time to actually start seeing results, even up to 6 months. Don't get discouraged. Remember, day by day, it helps. Let's come to stillness. Gently releasing your feet and legs back down, palms by your side. We're going to finish in Shavasana here. Eyes are closed. Thanking ourselves for slowing it down today, letting our bodies guide us through our stretching, and hopefully we were able to breathe and be a little calm here and let all the stresses of our day go just for a few minutes at least. just gonna bring my hands to prayer here. Remember, you can stay here. I always encourage people in Shavasana to stay longer if they like, but just for the sake of the video, I will let you go. Thank you for helping de-stress today. I'll see you guys back next time. Namaste. Please move slowly when you're ready and grab some water and have a great day.